Jim doesn't look so stupid anymore, does he? I mean, maybe Profar should hit ninth after bunting, moving a runner to third with one out. How dare he? He should be on the bench. That's where he should be right now.
He should hit 10th.
Hit him 10th. Padres lose. You can't win all close games. You can't win all games. And St. Louis wins this game. Padres got even, as they always seem to do. Kyle Higashioka had a chance at the top of the ninth inning to take a lead. Then Robert Suarez, who was invincible but has been more human here recently, the last 3 consecutive 2-out hits, and the Cardinals walk off at Busch Stadium and win 4-3. As you make your way in, as you know, we have year-round content for Padres fans. We're going to hit 7,000 subscribers with your help, so please subscribe if you're new to the channel, and smash the like button and follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We'll get to all your super chats here tonight. We appreciate your support of the channel. Just click that $sign below the chat box. You can become a member by clicking join down below. It was a good start. I thought Joe Musgrove on the whole was fine. He had 1 bad inning, but he went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs. They got even. They had chances. I mean, they had a chance to take a lead there in the 9th inning, and then it looked like it was heading to the 10th. 2 outs, nobody on. Robert Suarez, and back-to-back singles. And the Cards walk off, and now the Padres need to win tomorrow to win the series.
Would you have bunted there?
So that's what we should spend 15 minutes on. I personally have no issue with it. I think you could argue it either way, and I think you could be right or wrong either way. So I think you can bunt and score in that spot. I think you can not bunt and not score in that spot, or score in that spot. So I think it's actually, did you see the math on it that AJ Cassavell tweeted out?
Is a 1% increase of chance to win.
Yeah. So the point is, there strategically, you did nothing better or worse by making that decision. If you don't make that decision, same chance to win. If you do make that decision, same chance to win. Then strategically, I don't think they helped or hurt their cause by Jurickson Profar's decision.
And it's on Cronenworth to get him in. Like,
yeah, definitely.
You know, runner on third, less than
1 out.
Less than 2 outs. You got to get that runner in, man. What they go for tonight?
Ellsley's good, man. That's the one thing they got. They've good.
That is also another factor into the Bunt, is like, this guy has been amazing for the Cardinals. He's pretty much like the best player on that team.
Right. Sure.
And you might not get many chances like you have right now. So you put the pressure on, and you put a runner at third with less than 2 outs. But that wasn't why they lost tonight. It was because
they didn't hit with men in scoring position.
They went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Profar had chances twice in the game with runners in scoring position, including, the 9th inning there to get it done, and he didn't get it done.
Profar too.
No, that's why I said Profar.
Oh, I thought you said Cronenworth. I'm sorry.
Cronenworth.
Yep.
Also as well.
Yep.
And all in all, you had your chances and you didn't come through. It's not going to always happen for this team, but it is amazing how when they score first, more often than not, they win. And tonight they scored first and they didn't win. Like, that's a rarity for this team in the second half and the entire season. They were 55-11 when scoring first this year. Now they're 55-12.
They hadn't blown a 2-run lead since June 18th. That's a long time not to blow a 2-run lead.
It just sucks that tonight they blow a lead and they can't get over that hump. And then Arizona wins in a crazy fashion against the Mets. It looks like the Dodgers are going to beat the Orioles here. So while last night was great and everything went your way, tonight's the complete opposite. And you fall back to 4 back of the Dodgers and a game behind Arizona.
And Otani locked up the MVP because Decoy, the dog, showed up. So that also really hurts your chances there to win an MVP. We'll see. Dodgers are going to win. You would think. It's the 9th inning. They've got a 2-run lead. And like you said, Arizona with a grand slam off Edwin Diaz, of all people, wins over the Mets tonight.
So the Mets fans are taking it very calm and very well.
Yeah, I mean, all things equal, you are where you were yesterday. Like, you picked up a game yesterday on these teams, and now you lost a game today. That's basically baseball. And they're still in a position that they can accomplish all goals, I would say. You're threading needles here to win the division. And we've said it for days on end, even with the Padres' great play, that you're asking for the Dodgers to be mediocre, even if the Padres are good, to win this division. And we've also said that Arizona has been as good, if not better, than San Diego somehow since the All-Star break. This is one of those games too, Jim. It's like you have a couple of things that you had the Arise ground rule double where you don't score a run on, otherwise you score. You had opportunities with men in scoring position early and late that you don't capitalize on. It's a game that you've seen them win so many times. Like, how do you homer in the 8th inning to tie it and not win? We've seen them win that like 90% of the time this year. It had the makings of a win, is my point. You tie it, you've got a leadoff double on a ball that hits the chalk in the 9th from Arise, his 4th hit of the game. Didn't walk though tonight. And then
problem.
Runner at second, nobody out, runner at third, one out. You have a good chance of taking the lead, and I'll take a 1-run lead with Robert Suarez every single day of the week. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out tonight.
Yeah, and that's just how things are going to go. And luckily, they've been playing such good baseball tonight. Doesn't feel like the end of the world.
No,
but I mean, apparently it's the end of the world to everybody here because I mean, looking on our numbers, it's like when this team loses, where's everybody at? Anyway, you look at the standings and you're still in a good position. The Mets lost, and you still have a pretty sizable lead on a wild card spot, and
6 games.
You feel good about that. It's you don't, after what they have accomplished and what they've done over the last 2 months, you at the end of the year don't want to say, oh, we made it as a 6 seed, because you're like, what happened? Must have played bad baseball, especially after this stretch. But the main thing is the main thing, and it's the postseason, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, to your point on the 6 seed, I mean, you're 2 games up. On the 6 seed, despite this great record, I mean, the 26-9 over the last 35 games, 26-8 coming in, you're 2 games up on Atlanta. I still think it's all a possibility from the 1 through the 6th. I mean, the 1's becoming more of a pipe dream is not the right word. It's just not as likely. I think the 1 seed has a couple of % chance of happening probably at this point. And I think the 6 seed is probably a lot more likely because you're 4 games away from the 1 seed and you're 2 games away from the 6 seed.
Yeah.
So I think the 6 seed is more likely than the 1 seed. But, after all this work, Jim, to that point, like, I don't really want to envision them playing a 3-game wildcard series on the road. I know they're great on the road. I know they've been good on the road. It just seems like they've accomplished so much to be playing some 3-game road series to move on. Like, I just feel like they've kind of earned more than that. But I guess I'm misspeaking, so to speak, because the Diamondbacks have played just as well, and they're going to have to outplay the Diamondbacks to close. Like,
yeah,
okay, that's not easy.
Well, here's the thing: is this team's got a month left, John. A month. I mean, like, that's a long time.
It's not that many games, though.
Imagine where we were. Imagine our feelings back on July 28th compared to now. Completely different.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, 27 games is a lot of games, and 3 of them are against Arizona. Yeah, I mean, things can change. You're right. I don't really know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of where they're going to finish. They're going to make the postseason, to your point. My opinion doesn't change on them making the postseason. I agree with you. I think they'll make the postseason. I can't guarantee it, but they clearly are in position to make the postseason. But does it matter at the end of the day if you're the 4 seed or the 5 seed? Maybe not. I don't know. It only matters based on what you do once you get in. So I have no idea if it's going to matter or not for this team. Would you feel good right now going to Arizona for a 3-game series? I don't. But that's because Arizona has been the hottest team, has even hotter than San Diego.
Yeah.
Then
you're sitting there being like, maybe you do want the 6, because then you go play Milwaukee instead.
Exactly. That's true.
I mean, I don't think it'd be like, oh, you're the 6 seed, you have to go to Philadelphia. That's not like something that you'd want to do, but I feel pretty good going to Milwaukee. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying Milwaukee's bad or anything, but
they're not, right?
They're good. I don't know. And they've had one of the best records in the second half as well in August.
All these teams and the Dodgers, Phillies, Brewers are within like a game.
Yeah. So it could be,
I don't know, game
everywhere.
And a half.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? There's so much is up in the air. And while one day and one loss, while the teams in front of you win, it sucks and it doesn't feel great. It's not the end of the world. And they played a pretty decent game tonight. I thought Joe pitched fine. I think, you get 6 innings, 3 runs. I take that,
90-something pitches.
Especially in that weather. Like, come on, it's ridiculous. So the problem with tonight, 100%, is they reverted back to the 2023 Padres with runners in scoring position.
And over 162, of course. I mean, yeah, they're gonna have a game. They're gonna have another game. They go 1 for 10 with men in scoring position. You can't go 3 for 10 with men in scoring position every night. Right? And they haven't won since your hypothetical lineup that got everyone up in arms. Hey, listen, the funny thing is, I looked this up during the game. Jurickson Profar since July 1st, and he went 0 for 4 tonight. You know what he was hitting coming in from July 1st on?
Not great.
241. He was 0 for 4 tonight, so let's say 237.
So pretty much what we all thought pretty much what we all thought Profar was going to do this year. 240 to 250 hitter.
Now, Jake Cronenworth hasn't hit either. Over that,
we don't have those guys back to back in the lineup.
Have them back to back in the lineup? Did you say?
No, I said maybe don't have those guys back to back in the lineup.
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier. Yeah. So listen, I mean, I don't really know what to make of that. I really don't. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all that Profar's come back to earth. He's been hit. He's played through it. Like Cronenworth over the last 2 months, from July 1st on, sitting 216 coming into tonight. So that leads me down this path. That we said it today on John and Jim, and I think this is accurate. Arise, Tatis, Machado are your immovable objects, likely. Yes. From the organization perspective, we can argue it. If you want to argue Tatis, he doesn't play, whatever, that's fine. He's made 79 starts and batted second all 79 times this year. That's where he's going to hit. Arise is leading off for this team, and rightfully so, despite the fact he doesn't walk. And then Manny Machado is going to hit cleanup as he should. He's among the hottest hitters in the National League right now. He's playing brilliant baseball offensively and defensively. We can get into that tonight as well. But other than that, I think it opens up the possibility that 3, 5, 6, 7 is kind of a crapshoot. I don't think it's a crapshoot with Merrill. I don't think Merrill moves from 6 to 3, for example. But I do think those other 4 players in your top 7 in your order can move, is my point. I don't think the other 3 will.
Yeah, for sure. That's when Tatis gets back.
Yep.
I think right now, Schilt is such a just keep rolling with the type of guy that he's not a drastic change type of person. He's going to just, if they're struggling, he is going to keep doing what he's doing. He is going to, you lose 5 in a row. This is the greatest team I've ever coached my entire life, managed my entire life. He's going to just plow through regardless. There's never drastic changes. There's never going to be any wavering post-game. There's never going to be any criticism, nothing. It's going to be, hey, I mean, even post-game, if you listen to him, played a great game tonight. Defense was amazing.
And it was.
And then it was amazing tonight, for sure. And then, it trickles to the post-game. You hear Scanda's amazing game tonight. Okay, well, they lost. But, it wasn't amazing from the standpoint that they couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. And maybe, talk about that a little more and not just glaze over this game. That'd be cool. Hey, they were 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position in the late in the game when you had a runner at third with less than 2 outs. You got to get that runner in, and that probably cost you the game. So, those are the things you kind of need to lead with. But anyway, I digress. That'll never happen here, besides this show. And you look at the lineup now, and you say, all right, it's gotten it done for sure. But if it doesn't, and if it turns into a streak here and a stretch here where, okay, we're not hitting with runners in scoring position for a prolonged time, and we might go in we're going into a little rut here, then you change it up. But until that happens, you probably keep it status quo until Tatis gets back, and then you figure that out, right?
Yes, completely. I completely agree with that. There's not going to be any wholesale reactionary change to any one game, obviously.
Right.
And a very winnable game. And I completely understand that. And I think there was good in here, even in a loss. But there was also, at the end result is the loss. This isn't some worst loss of the season. It just wasn't.
Do you feel any type of concern with Robert Suarez?
I mean, you and I I've been texting you about Robert Suarez a lot because I'm watching, and he's very hittable right now. He throws one pitch, which people have talked about for the entire season. And I don't know if that's catching up to him or not. He still has a 2 ERA or whatever it is. I don't know what it is after tonight, but it's 2, right?
Mm-hmm. His last 7 outings, he's got a 5.4 ERA.
Yeah, he's allowed a lot of like lone runs. He's allowed a lot of runs in his last 7 outings. What is that? Maybe four runs in his last 7 outings, maybe something like that.
Was this only the third time this year when he's appeared in a game they've lost?
I thought it was their second.
I think it might have been a third.
There was the Phillies game. There was tonight. What other game did they lose with him on the mound? I don't know the answer to that. Does someone know? Was there another game? They lost a game in Philadelphia. That was disappointing. It was their 5th straight loss. There's tonight, which is improbable. 2 outs, nobody on. I don't remember a third game.
Philly? Tonight? I thought there was one more.
I don't remember it.
Maybe I was wrong.
There was a game he blew a save that they won. I remember that. So he's definitely blown multiple saves. But I don't know if there's more than 2 losses.
He blew a save on July 26th at Baltimore. Did they win that game?
They won that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did. Maybe not. Maybe this is
2
only
games.
second.
I mean, how many appearances?
I thought there was 3. Second?
How many appearances does he have?
Okay, maybe it is his second. I thought it was his third. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can look.
He's made 53 appearances.
So 53 appearances, I'm looking right now. He's got a loss June 18th in Philadelphia. There's a loss. You're right. They lost 2-0 to Seattle July 10th. He appeared in that game. He did not allow a run. I don't know what the circumstance was. They lost 2-0.
His strikeouts are down a little bit. I mean, 53 innings pitched, only 50 strikeouts. 2022, he pitched 47 2/3, and he had 61 strikeouts.
He has not had more than 1 strikeout in an appearance since August 8th. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive appearances without more than a strikeout. So whatever. He's been more hittable. There's been more balls in play off Robert Suarez recently. I don't know the reason. I don't know what the velocity is. I assume it's good. I think it is. But there have been more balls in play. And like you said, his ERA has been elevated his last handful of times out. So he hasn't been as crisp and sharp. And I don't know what that is. If that's just over. I know people are going to tell me they shouldn't have pitched him in a 4-run game 2 days ago. How is it relevant?
Right.
Is what I would tell you. How do we know if he did or didn't pitch 2 days ago, how it would impact him allowing 3 consecutive singles of 2 outs of the 9th inning tonight? I don't see how it's relevant, you know?
And I can already see it now. Make Tanner Scott the closer. If you know anything about Schilt, there is more chance of me and John being put in the Padres lineup than Schilt going away from Suarez as their closer.
And the truth is, if they would
unless he completely implodes,
the truth is Scott would have pitched with a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 10th inning. You know what I mean? Like he could have. So yes, it's Suarez's inning. You're on the road in a tie game. He's trying to get you to a 10th inning, right?
Yeah.
So it's Suarez's inning. Is it a little bit concerning? It's a little bit concerning. Could it be costly, the fact that he throws 1 pitch in the postseason, if he goes into the postseason not as crisp as he's been? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a completely reasonable and fair critique of Robert Suarez. He has not been as effective.
Right.
And he throws 1 pitch, which is a little bit of a problem. I want to get back to Profar for 1 second, Jim, because I'm reading AJ Cassavell tonight at MLB.com, and he kind of got into the bunt. All right. So you watched the postgame press conference with Schilt. This is what Schilt said.
Well, they didn't have it on. They didn't have it on Padres TV. I had to go other places to find what he said.
I found it. I heard the audio. He said, "We give Pro the option." This is from Schilt. "I trust him, and he trusts his teammates. It doesn't always work out, but man, I trust him completely in that at bat, in making his decision and his feel for the game." But listen to this. I mean, it's actually really fascinating because you could go both ways on this. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. That's how I truly feel about it. But the thing I was going to say is Profar was quoted post-game. This is from AJ Cassavell saying, "You didn't see my at-bats tonight?" Profar asked rhetorically, "I was 0 for 4. As if to say, I'm no guarantee. I've been a good hitter with men in scoring position this year. I had remember he scored the bunt a week ago, right, and people are so mad that he scored the bunt and then he homered. Like, how dare you score the bunt? Like, who cares? Right. So, okay, yeah, he did come through in that spot, I think against Minnesota maybe. But look at Profar's numbers. We just gave them to you. He's hit 237 roughly since July 1st. Look at what he's done here recently. He has not produced. here recently. So it's like there's a dichotomy. Yes, he's been a very productive hitter. He's also been hit a ton. He also hasn't been the same hitter here recently. And he knows the circumstance as well as anyone in terms of how he's feeling if he thinks he can come through in that spot. And he elected to move the runner. And then there was that quote from Kevin Acee tonight that he wrote, and let me pull it up, where Profar said, we got to score the run with a runner third and one out. It kind of calling out. I mean, I don't think it was his intent, but when I read it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. This is the exact quote. We should have brought the run in. Okay. Third with one out. We have to bring him in. That's it. We lose some, we win some. I bet you we win more than we lose.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I don't think it's a call out of Jake Cronenworth.
No, I don't think.
But it's just like a team thing. Like, hey, as a team, when we have a runner at third, and Jake knows it, I'm sure Jake's probably kicking himself tonight for not getting that run home and striking out instead, and potentially costing the team the game, because if they score there, maybe it's different. Maybe Suarez doesn't give up a lead there.
Oh, completely.
Or give up a game-winning run. I don't know. But I think it's just more of a team mindset. Like, hey, guys, when there's a runner at third and less than 2 outs, we have to get that run home. It just has to happen. I mean, you got to do the little things almost all the time now, because you're in a dogfight for a division and a wild card spot and home field. Like, this game, while it's not the end of the world, I don't think that we're just going to gloss over it and be like, whatever. Like, once you get to September, those types, and we could say that maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, like, yeah, okay, fine, because they're playing great baseball. But the second you get to September, man, every game, it means a lot.
And you're right. I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt, which I think we're doing. I mean, nobody's going crazy here. You give him the benefit of the doubt. He's 26-9. He's 26-9, and that's a truthful, accurate number. That's what they've done the last 35 games, and you can't win all one-run games. And this is about execution. I mean, the ninth inning's about execution. They didn't execute. And St. Louis, it's not like they were the most well-hit balls in baseball history. We all watched it. Right. Found a hole. Ball gets by a shortstop, a diving play. Could be the difference between keeping the ball in the infield and having the bases loaded there as opposed to the winning run scoring. But, yeah, I mean, they had opportunities to win this game, and the game didn't come down to Suarez or the bunt, but we're all pretending like it came down to Suarez or the bunt. But to your earlier point, if you have another hit with a man in scoring position, you score an additional run earlier, maybe you win this game. I don't know if it's going away, but maybe you just hold a lead and preserve a lead. But that's not how it played out here tonight, you know?
Yeah, you have a team that went 1 for 10 and with runners in scoring position in any game.
It's tough.
Find me like the percentage of teams to go 1 for double digits and win those games.
Yeah, you're right. You're winning 10% of the time, maybe 15 might be high.
Rarely do you see teams that go 1 for 10 plus and win a game. So it doesn't happen.
All right, guys, we'll get back to the conversation in a moment. Please subscribe if you are here. On our way to 7,000 subscribers to the channel. Please like this video as well. Smash that like video or like button. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We appreciate your support of the channel. You can click the $sign below the chat box. We will get to your super chats here tonight. If you want to support the channel, you can click the $sign below the chat box. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate the support of our title partner as well, Mark Nimitz. He's been with us for over 3 years. On YouTube, I always say we never start the channel potentially without the support of Mark Nimitz. So we've appreciated Mark being with us since day one on the wrap-up show. If you have an insurance need, let him save you money and time. Trust me, he's a great insurance agent. I've got homeowners and life and earthquake insurance through Mark. I've had all these policies for years with Mark, and I had to file a claim a couple of years ago. He took care of everything when we had some flooding out here for whatever reason, and he saved us so much time and so much money. And if you switch your insurance, he could save you $750 or more. So click the link in the description down below. He does auto as well. He does home, business, life, whatever you need. Click that link in the description down below or call him. We'll talk to you about the Padres. He's a lifelong Padres fan, a native San Diegan. So get in contact with the title sponsor of the wrap-up show if you support this channel, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance.
Yeah, all his information is on the ticker below, and Nimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
Does it put more of an emphasis on tomorrow? Yeah, probably. Michael King, it's important. You have a chance to win a series in St. Louis. You haven't done it since 2019. It's not like Tampa's some walk in the park, to be honest, where you're heading Friday through Sunday either. It's not like you're going to be facing intimidating crowds, but Tampa is certainly a capable team. So will they bounce back or not? We'll see. I trust Michael King. I have no idea what the weather's going to be with a day game. That's kind of scary. I don't know if the weather's broken or not.
High of 93.
Ugh, and humid and miserable is what it is.
Sunny and just
2:00 in the afternoon local, or 1:00 in the afternoon. It's going to be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to overcome that and find a way. They'll be favored again. The Padres will be favored tomorrow in St. Louis against this kind of lame duck Cardinal team right now, and they need to win a close game. You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect them to score 11 runs on a 100-degree day, but they need to find a way to win that game, in my opinion. Like, if you're talking division now, you don't give these 2 games away against the St. Louis Cardinals. You're going to have to get one of them if you want to contend here in this division.
Yeah, it'd be very disappointing if you end up splitting the series. Like, you looked good the first 2 days. It was rocky back and forth, but you got it done. It wasn't the prettiest of games, but you got the 2 wins, and tonight could have gone your way. Just couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. Couldn't get it done there with a man on in third and less than 2 outs, and you move on tomorrow. And if you take tomorrow's game, then everything accomplished. A series accomplished. You got the series win. You set out to take the series from them 3 of 4, and you got that done. So that's what tomorrow feels like. If you win, perfect. That's exactly what we sought out to do, and we move on to Tampa Bay. If you lose tomorrow, it feels like missed opportunity, and you're probably going to be kicking yourself.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Speaking of which, Tampa, if you're wondering how Tampa has played this year, they have the exact same record as St. Louis, 1 game under, and they're a 500 team at home. So not a great home team by baseball standards.
But they swept Arizona a couple of weeks ago.
I know, you're right. They did sweep Arizona, and they're pesky enough to cause problems, is what I would say about Tampa Bay. So go win tomorrow. Shoot, if you win that race series, you're still going 5-2 on the trip if you win tomorrow and take 2 out of 3 in Tampa. Right. So I think that's still very much on the table, but it's contingent, obviously, on winning tomorrow. Dodgers did hold on and win this game over Baltimore, 6-4. Such is life. 4 games back in the division, 1 game back of Arizona. Right. Because Arizona, a couple of crazy games. Again, Arizona, Grand Slam, Corbin Carroll. Dodgers, the stupid bobbleheads are on eBay for $4,000. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, and utter stupidity. But
I think they had a line start at like
9
a.m.
Yeah. It was so dumb. Like, they didn't
like miles and miles and miles.
So stupid.
Guys, yeah. Shohei's really good, but he's like not the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread. Give me a break. The call tonight for I'm blanking on his name. Joe Davis.
Oh, Joe Davis, yeah.
Dude.
Which call? You're talking about that stolen base moment?
Yeah. My guy. Oh my God. You would think that this is the first time he's watching a player play baseball before.
Does it also feel, not to make this like a Dodgers discussion, because we never do that, truthfully, but for whatever reason, it's relevant. They're 4 games ahead of the Padres. The division's still within at least arm's reach. Does it also feel like it's a bit contrived to try to get Otani to 50-50? Because everyone knows it hasn't been done. So, like, Otani's running just because of it.
Yeah.
2 stolen bases tonight. Now, the home runs are home runs. Those are real. It's not like, I'm going to try to hit a home run just because.
50 home runs is 50 home runs. 100%.
Yeah. Like, the game of baseball, home runs have always been home runs. Now, the stolen base, we've talked about it. You can't throw over as many times anymore, and the bases are larger. It's clearly easier to steal bases. That doesn't fully take away from it. It's not like that has no value, but it just feels like he'll do everything in his power. He'll get to 50 steals, is my point. Mm-hmm. He can't control if he hits 50 home runs. He can, but he's got to do it. He'll get to the 50 steals. The question now becomes, will he hit 50 home runs? But to me, it feels somewhat contrived.
Yeah. And it will be lauded as like one of the greatest accomplishments in the history of the sport.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's what everybody will gush over. And I'm sure Jeff Passan will write a 15,000 word piece on ESPN.com about how amazing this season was from Shohei Otani and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I will still contest that not only did Shohei Otani not have the best season in baseball, I could make an argument for maybe 2 other guys that had better seasons than him if I really, really wanted to. One for sure. But that's the whole point here is like if he was far and away having the best season of anybody in the sport, I understand it. I get it. I mean, he's a great player. It's great. But the 50-50 club, I mean, it just doesn't feel this. It wouldn't feel this. It doesn't feel the same just because of the stolen base thing. The 50 home runs, absolutely for sure. That's amazing. But I mean, 50 still. I mean, whatever, dude.
Yeah, it's weird, and that's why again, I don't really know what to think of that, and I also don't know what to think of. Okay, so he's gonna have 50 stolen bases. Does that mean the Dodgers are gonna win the postseason? I don't know. Like, is Otani gonna be this overly clutch, amazing, incredible postseason hitter? Maybe he could be. He could be unbelievable. Or in 3 games, he goes 2 for 10. You know?
Hold on. I just want to look at this real quick. So let me just look at Otani here. Otani baseball. All right. So Otani this season. This is not counting today, unfortunately. He's got a 175 OPS plus. It's really freaking good.
It's great.
Really, really good. Judge has a 229 OPS plus.
Yeah. Well, he's out of this world. I mean, they're both MVPs, though. I mean, you're comparing like an MVP to an MVP. Like
I'm comparing an MVP. I'm comparing an MVP to like Barry Bonds on steroids, which is,
yeah.
I mean, it's like you got Judge. I mean, you got Otani here. Still, it's a very high right there. I mean, Otani. And then you got Judge up here. There's a gap, bro. There's a gap.
There's a gap between Judge and every player in baseball this year offensively. There's no question about it. I mean, Judge has been historically good this year. So, yeah, I do agree with that. I don't think it takes away, though, from Otani's year. Like, Otani's year stands for itself. I think 50-50 is a marketing ploy. But I think Otani's performance speaks for itself.
I'm just saying that once Otani reaches this mark, it is going to be talked about like it's the greatest thing ever. It's really like, in my opinion, not like it's a great accomplishment. And it should be recognized, but it's. I mean,
let me make this clear. Otani could be a 100-100 guy. If he doesn't win a World Series in Los Angeles, I don't care.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nor will they. I mean,
same thing with Judge, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, yeah, it's great. You know, great. You have a dog and you have a bobblehead. That's great. And people are going to gush over that. It's fun. It's Los Angeles, whatever. But at the end of the day, you don't give someone $700 million or whatever they gave him, actually $20 million over 10 years. You don't dish out contracts like that because of individual accomplishments. You just don't. I mean, you do it to win at an absurdly high level, and they might do it and they might not. I mean, I wish I had all the answers on that. I hope it doesn't happen this year. They've been they haven't been far and away the best team in baseball this year, but that doesn't mean they're not going to win the World Series either.
Here's the last thing I'll say on Otani. All right. In all of baseball, all right, in the stats that most people know, not the advanced analytics or the F-WAR or the OPS pluses and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's for like the major nerds. In just like the regular categories, average home runs, RBI, stolen bases, runs, OPS, slugging, on base percentage, hits, doubles, triples, walks, strikeouts, all that stuff, right? There is not one category Shohei Otani leads the league in. Not one.
Major leagues or National League?
Major leagues.
Yeah, it's because of like Aaron Judge
and Bobby Witt.
Yeah, but that doesn't. I don't know. I mean,
I'm just pointing out a fact. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, another fact is when he was pitching, there wasn't a close second.
Correct. And I 100% agree with that.
And also, it's not like it's his fault that he's not pitching. He's hurt.
And the only reason why I'm like acting like this has nothing to do really with Shohei Otani. It has everything to do with the national media. That's kind of where I'm coming from.
I know. It gets frustrating. It does.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Otani.
That's why I freaked out 3 years ago. I'm like, this love fest for a guy that's on a team that's 70 and 90 every year.
He was striking out 10 guys and hitting 2 home runs a game.
He's still that player. I mean,
I know.
You can't take that away from him when he goes in first ballot on 100% of the ballots. Like, you can't. What he's accomplished is what he's accomplished.
Right, and that's, you're right, absolutely. I just, for anybody who says I'm an Otani hater, you hate Otani. Right. I don't hate Otani.
It's not Otani.
It's not Otani.
I see the point.
It's not him at all. It is the national media and Major League Baseball, mostly the national media, glazing over this guy for any little thing he does that gets so tired. Like, it's so tiresome to see this all over the entire sport when there is so many other baseball players that need to be elevated here rather than just glazing over Otani every single night.
I can't fully explain it. They know that he's this absurd marketing vehicle that resonates nationally, and he does. And SportsCenter will tweet about Otani before Bobby Witt. If Bobby Witt homered tonight and had 2 stolen bases, you're going to get more Otani than Bobby Witt. I promise you that.
I get it.
And he also resonates internationally and is a cash cow for the sport because of that. And if you look at the signage at Dodger Stadium and the digital signage, it is oftentimes in Japanese. It's all you need to know. Mm-hmm. And the amount of revenue that they've created based on him signing there makes the $700 million look probably like a drop in the bucket, would be my guess.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. They're marketing for him. I mean, there was talks even before the season started, like insiders, and it's like, hey, this contract will pay for itself.
We'll make that money.
And they'll make money. Like, they're going to make money. They're not losing money here. They're making money. And that's the whole thing with the Otani is, like, whoever signed Otani, whatever contract you gave him, you should have maybe given him more, because he's going to make that back in double.
And what we forget a little bit too, I'm looking right now, the Dodgers TV deal, like, let's just be clear here. The Padres TV deal pays them nothing. Now, I'm oversimplifying it. They're making something. But let's just, right? Do we all agree they went from whatever they were making for Bally Sports, like 60 a year, to, like, let's just say nothing? I know that's not accurate, but you get the point. The Dodgers are paid $8.35 billion over 25 years, which is, I just Googled it, I think, $300+ million per year. Guess what? Otani only makes $70 million per year. Their TV deal covers it easy. The Padres TV deal ain't covering jerks and Profar.
Nothing.
I mean, it is. I don't know what they're getting right now. They're getting money.
Well, but I hope they're getting money from Saquon, because it's on every single freaking ad.
I think they're probably getting money.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't listen. We'll get back to it, guys. Mova Globes. Mova Globes. They're not advertising in Japanese at Dodger Stadium, but they are advertising on the wrap-up show. So if you support the wrap-up show, support Mova Globes, officially licensed globes for all 30 teams, which unfortunately actually includes the LA Dodgers as well. But this company was founded in San Diego. This technology was founded in San Diego, Cardiff by the Sea. In fact, these globes spin automatically with light, artificial or natural. They're incredible products. You can get 10% off by using promo code PWS10. There are magnets inside. There are no wires. There are no, cords. They spin for forever.
No batteries, nothing there.
No batteries. They just spin and spin and spin. All based on light.
There's no cords.
There's no cords. There's no cords. So this is it. It comes on a stand. Okay. Like, look at it. All right. And boom. You put it wherever you want. Put it in your home. Put it in your office. Great gift idea for the Padres fan in your life, for the baseball fan in your life. They have Planet Globes as well. Jim and I both have some of their globes in addition to the MLB globes. So if you want them, pick them up. Click that link in the description down below. I think Michael said yesterday they're actually sold out for the Mets globe of all globes. He's here tonight as well. Let's see. Last 2 who used the code. Look at this. Bought. Guess which teams? Oh, my. Come on, Michael.
Come
on, Padres fans. So the point is, use promo code PWS10 and get 10% off. But you can get 10% off the Globes, even if they're not the baseball Globes, and then you can get 10% off any team. So Padres, whomever, Cubs, right? Whomever it is, use promo code PWS10.
Buy Mova Globe now. Click the link description below. They're great for your desk at home, workplace, a gift to a friend, gift to a loved one. If they're a baseball fan, they're a diehard baseball fan, these are awesome gifts for that person. Click the link below. PWS10 is the promo code, and go get a Mova Globe today.
Would you like to say anything about?
I was just about to click on that.
Yeah. So Xander Bogaerts yesterday was 0 for 4, and Bogaerts today was 1 for 4. He's still, I don't know what his numbers are since returning. He's probably 325 hitter or something since returning. Is there anything you want to say about Xander Bogaerts? So I think I said 2 home runs since returning and 6 on the year.
I'll say this. Well, his numbers since he's returned have been great. A lot of that has to do with the first couple of weeks where he went like 18 for 20. Right? It was just hitting singles everywhere, but he was getting on base and they're winning games, and you're not going to poo-poo, even though I tried an 18 for whatever stretch or whatever the numbers were. It was crazy. But he is 14 for his last 55, and he does have only 2 home runs since returning, and he has been struggling of late. That is a fact. He's playing really good defense, but offensively, yes, he has.
What's he hit since coming back?
I don't know.
Well, 1 for 4 tonight, so that's not really worth a ton either way. He came back when, Jim? Before the All-Star game?
Yeah, he came back in that Braves series. So
July 12th. So he's been back since July 12th, which is a good amount of games. Let's see. So from July 12th through last night, when he went 0 for 4, he has hit 333 with an 802 OPS. Now, he was 1 for 4 tonight. He's probably hit about 330 or 331 with probably like a 800 or 799, something like that OPS. I think then beyond serviceable. It's kind of who he is, man. He hits for average.
Now start August 2nd.
Fair. You can play that game, but okay. I mean, I could start tonight and say he's hit 250.
No, just give me in August.
In August. Stand by. You probably have August in front of you. He has hit in August 265.
Okay, so that's the point. He inflated his numbers since he's come back with what he did right out the jump in July. And you can have the argument, and you say, well, he's hit 330 since he's been back. I'll be like, well, he's hit 260 in August. He has also hit, what is it here? It looks like he's hitting in his last couple of weeks here. Let me pull this up. 255 with a 627 OPS. That's also a fact. So like, it's also, what have you done for me lately? And what have you done for me lately is Xander Bogaerts has kind of gone back to and reverted to the player that doesn't hit for any power. He doesn't hit for a great average. His slugging percentage is way down, and his on-base percentage isn't that great either.
Hit him 7th, but they wouldn't. You know what I mean? They wouldn't do it. But
they won't do it because it's bogey.
I yawn at the Bogaerts conversation because I'm like, listen, his return has coincided with good play. He's responsible for some of it based on how he certainly played in the month of July. I don't think he's quote unquote hurt him, even if he has had below average power numbers. There's no question about that. Even in August. So he's hit 265 in August, and they've been really good in August. Right. I mean,
and that's why we haven't talked about it much.
Yeah.
Because they've been winning.
And also because he hasn't been a complete black hole. He hasn't hit 111.
No, he hasn't been like he was to start the season where he couldn't. I mean, he was struggling to hit 200. Like, it was bad. I mean, he came back when he hit he was hitting 211 or 219 or something like that when he came back.
Right.
With a 500 plus OPS, like
right. He's in 269 now.
Not good. But when they win, and when you win, like we've said, like it's not something we're going to come on the show every night, like, hey, they won 7-4, but damn, Xander Bogaerts 0 for 4 tonight again. Like, it's just not going to be a conversation that leads the show. But when you're struggling, then those things it gets amplified. If they go 500 over the next 2 weeks, or if they go, 10, if they go 5-10 over the next 15 games, and Bogaerts is continuing to struggle, and Profar and Cronenworth, then absolutely, those lead the show. Is like,
but the thing is, they're not
exactly.
They're
winning.
They've been good.
They've been really good.
Yeah, it's a fair conversation. Yeah, I'm completely for it. Again, I think if all things were equal, I would just move Bogaerts eventually probably down in a fully healthy lineup and say, surprise us all and do something out of that 7-hole and hit for some pop and drive some guys in, and that would be great.
Yeah. Do you think the shoulder has anything to do with this? Or, I mean, the scarier thought is, God, I hope he's not this player going forward.
Here's the thing. He is this player. He's not a power hitter, and he's not going to gain power.
That's scary too, dude. That's a long-term conversation, bigger picture. That is terrifying. If this is, I don't think
not this
guy, but he's closer to this guy than he is to the guy that was an all-star, hit 30 plus home runs, and hit 300 every year and hit 20 plus home runs. Like, I think he's more closer to this type of player than he is that player, which is the scary thing.
I think he is. So this is who he is as a Padre. Okay. In his 2 years in the National League, he's 279, 337 on base, 413 slug, 750 OPS. In the American League, when he was young, 292, 356, 458, 814 OPS. I think he will prove to be about a 750 OPS player here, because there's going to be some really down years in there. There'll be some 70, 75 years in there, and there'll be some 715 years in there. And there might be a year like this where he's going to struggle to get to 700. I don't think he's going to be better than a 750 OPS player in his 10 years of Padre. I really don't. So I think this is who he is. I think he's going to be a 285 hitter here, and he's not going to hit for power, is my guess.
And 2 years in, he's dealt with injuries back-to-back years. The wrist last year, and then the shoulder this year. Shoulder more of a fluky thing, but the wrist was like a chronic thing. And that's also a little concerning.
Can he lift a team in the postseason like he did when he was younger? Can he be on a team that can win at that? I don't know.
To me, he's
if he gets a third freaking championship at some point, which, by the way, hopefully happens.
They hop in here.
Yeah, I mean, kind of speaks for itself at that point, your career and your accomplishments. But
I mean, it's unfortunate that they gave him the contract that he got.
It's a dumb contract. I mean,
it's a horrible contract.
I was for it at the time. I got all
I was too.
away.
I didn't think he was going to be this.
It's a dumb contract.
Yeah, but he is also, on the flip side, I think a valuable piece to a championship team.
Well, that's the thing.
When healthy.
Yeah.
So for the long term, it's going to be a disappointing contract. I already know. Like, I already feel that. Like, it's going to turn out to be
not a disappointing contract, though, if they actually do win something.
And in the postseason, then I think he does have value for sure. And he's been there before, so he has experience. But, just over his time as a Padre, if they don't win a World Series, then, it's going to be viewed as, it's like Hosmer won, Bogey too. That's right now how it feels, how disappointing this contract could look here down in his career.
And people may say, well, is it overreactionary? I mean, 2 seasons, and he's
not getting younger.
He's not getting younger. I mean, I don't know. When's he turn 32?
He's playing good defense, though. That's good.
Well, he turns 32 on the final day of the regular season, or roughly 10-1.
It all goes down from there. It all goes downhill from there.
I mean, he's playing all next year's 32. I mean, it's not going to be easier is the point. It's not getting easier for Xander Bogaerts, unfortunately. Yeah, probably.
Kind of feels that way.
Yep. Yeah, we're at least with Manny. Like, if Manny never wins a title here, I mean, he's had some really productive seasons, like number 2 MVP year. Even this second half is kind of ridiculous. He's been great.
Yeah.
So, like, you're always going to have that. The guy posted, and he played well at times.
Yeah, for his career, like his time here as a Padre, with all the numbers he's going to accumulate, he'll be the best third baseman in franchise history.
Yes, he'll be the best position player in franchise history.
Whoa.
Other than Tony.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, but again, the one part we don't know, and this probably isn't fair, is if you want to have the conversation, what are his accomplishments without a title and what are his accomplishments with a title? Yeah. What would a title mean for Manny Machado's overall legacy in San Diego?
Everything.
And how then would it hold up? Again, Mr. Sandy, freaking Tony Gwynn speaks for itself, right? You're Mr. Padre. There's only one Mr. Padre. But if you win a title.
Yeah, we know how this town and a lot of fans are like, hey, can't criticize Manny, right? They win a championship, literally, you will never be able to criticize me. I'll never be able to say a critical thing about Manny Machado's play ever again.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I get it, but also, guys, grow up. I mean, this is the big leagues, and that's what it is. But at the same time, for a majority of the fan base, if this team wins a World Series and Manny's a big part of it, he can literally hit 100 for the rest of his career. He'll never be criticized in this town.
Well, I kind of if you win the title, he's gonna get a lot of slack, and he should
for sure. 100%. You're praising
it for forever.
Look, he might get it
for forever. Yeah, I mean, how many Machado's numbers in San Diego have a chance to be remarkably good.
Yeah, know what I mean? Really good.
He could have 2,000 hits as a Padre. Potentially,
he'll be a god. He'll be a god here if they win a World Series. A god. And then the final years of his contract, when they look horrible and he's clogging up the team with payroll, it will be like, who cares? He won a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it will be viewed. And I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame him. I really don't. But everybody moves on, and that's life. But you win a championship here, every single one of those players will be legends in this town. Legends.
Yeah, his numbers do. I mean, they stack up. Again, you're right. I mean, obviously, no one's ever going to replace Tony Gwynn, and no one's going to even rival it in all likelihood. But shoot, he's going to go down as one of the best position players. I mean, outside of Gwynn, it's probably going to be basically unrivaled by the end. It's going to be Machado. It's going to be a clear-cut number 2. Now, does he win a title or not is a whole other conversation, but he's going to be right there with any other position player in the history of the franchise other than Tony Gwynn would be my guess by the time his time is done here.
And it's such a weird franchise because you don't have many players that have been here for a long period of time other than Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Like Camenetti won the MVP. That's great. But he wasn't here for a long period of time.
That's a good point. Yep.
Adrian Gonzalez was a great player here. Wasn't here for a long period of time. Peavy. Trevor was here for a long time, for sure, but he wasn't a position player.
We fought over this before. I forget, though. Did you say yes with the title or no?
I said no.
I think you said no.
I said no because he would need to do something extraordinary, like win some MVPs But
isn't extraordinary the championship?
Maybe. Okay. I honestly forget what I said, but
we fought over that. It wasn't here. It was on John and Jim.
I said if they don't, I think it was if they don't win a championship, you thought he should still get a statue because he'll make the Hall of Fame, and I said no.
Yeah, I think that was the argument.
You'll get his number retired and have a ceremony, but not a statue.
Okay, in the chat, if Machado's a Hall of Famer, does he get a statue in San Diego regardless of whether they win a championship or not?
Dave Winfield went in the Hall of Fame and as a Padre, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes. Is he in a Padre uniform? Yep.
I think he has a Padres hat on.
Yeah.
They don't have a statue for him. They have 3 statues. They have the Colonel, they have Tony, and they have Trevor.
Right. I mean, okay. I can poke some holes there, though, if you want me to. And the hole I would poke would be...
Poke it.
Well, okay, I'll poke it pretty easily because Dave Winfield in San Diego played here for 8 seasons. Manny could play here for 15. He hit 154 home runs here. Manny Machado could hit 350.
Okay.
I mean, I think there's probably a big difference.
Probably. I mean, if they win a championship, then the argument is much easier to say, get him a statue. But if they don't win a championship, I don't know, man.
But these are interesting arguments. And I respect it. Like Calvin saying this, some others. No, only champions should get statues. But they have statues here, right. And they're great players.
He's great. He's a great player.
I think Mike Trout should have a statue in Anaheim. He doesn't want crap.
How about you just win the World Series first, and then we'll talk.
That'd be nice. Oh, if they win the World Series, definitely ending up with a statue, right?
They'll do it the next day. Yeah,
they should do it. Yeah, they should do it day off. The World
Series. Could you imagine? Just real quick. Imagine.
This is probably true too, by the way.
If they win one, yeah. I think if they win a World Series, you could argue absolutely Peter should get one. Especially this year.
If it was this year.
Yeah, then it makes even more of sense.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? Whoops. No, I don't like to poke anything. What was I gonna say? I forget. Oh, I was gonna say when they win the World Series, not if, but when they win the World Series, dude, imagine the giveaway packages for the following year.
Oh, it's gonna be all World Series, pen and pencil kids night.
Oh, dude. And then poor Don and Mudd are going to be promoting 17 things during every single broadcast.
They don't have to promote anything. They win the World Series. They can do no giveaways.
No, but again, they'll be like, Don, I need you to promote this taco, the World Series taco.
That's true.
Seriously, that's what they make them do. Poor guys. God, that broadcast, man. Help.
That's not probably next up.
What?
It's probably not.
AJ statue?
Yeah, it might be a little while off.
Put him in the Padres Hall of Fame. That's good enough for me. If they win a World Series.
Yeah.
Because they do have the Padres Hall of Fame. They just put anybody in there. I mean, they put Fred McGriff in there. They put
John and Jim might be in there by 2027.
I mean, literally, they put anybody in that Padres. You were in a Padres uniform, you're in the Padres Hall of Fame.
I went through that. We've all done the Padres Hall of Fame experience. I'm like, what am I doing here? What are we doing?
Right. What is this?
Most hits, Tony, and then no one,
all Tony, and then Nick Colbert. And then
it's amazing.
Randy Jones and Jake Peavy. And you're most complete games in franchise history, 24? No, so
it's all,
that's an exaggeration, but yeah.
All right. We do want to thank Underdog Fantasy for their support of the channel. Remember to use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. They have their best offer ever going on right now, which is a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 in bonus cash, which is crazy. You could deposit $20. They'll give you a free $10. You could deposit $2,000. They'll give you a free $1,000. It's so simple and easy to win. Make sure to use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. You get the deposit offer. In addition to that, you get the NFL Week 1 discounts that are on the screen right now. If you use promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, you also get a free special pick of Travis Kelce higher than a half total yard in Week 1, which is a week from Thursday night, a week from tomorrow. Chiefs and Ravens, they're giving you a free pick'em. They're giving you the bonus cash. They're giving you the NFL Week 1 discounts. All you got to do is click the link in the description down below and use promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. And oh, by the way, play along with Padres pick'ems going on right now. It's simple. It's easy. If Jim can win $500, then you can win $500.
Yeah, if I can win, you can win. That's pretty much
click the link in the description down below or scan the QR code on the screen right now. Remember to use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. All right, let's do this thing again tomorrow, 3 p.m. John and Jim. We'll wrap things up tomorrow on John and Jim because the game's at 11 a.m. So join us tomorrow on John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, free iHeartRadio app, also on YouTube. Just search for John and Jim 760. Please subscribe to that channel as well. And again, we're on our way to 7,000 subscribers. Can't do it without your support. If this is your first time here, if you have not yet subscribed, if you wouldn't mind doing that, we do appreciate it. Please subscribe. We're inching towards 7,000, within 100 subscribers right now of 7,000 for the channel. So please subscribe. We appreciate your support. Smash the like button. We are the home of year-round exclusive Padres content. You can find us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the super thanks if you're here on replay. And thank you to our partners, Mark Nimitz, the title sponsor of the wrap-up show since day one. If you have an insurance need, let Mark save you money. Click the link in the description down below. Mova Globes, we've been telling you about. Use promo code PWS10. Get 10% off. Support the wrap-up show. Pick up a Padres Mova Globe for the postseason. And Underdog Fantasy, best offer yet, up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Use promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll hear from Mike Schill tomorrow at 3 p.m. on the wrap-up show postgame after this series. And we'll catch up with you tomorrow on John and Jim. Thanks, guys.